Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are out there in the community of this globe. My name is Micheal Pope, and this is Life is a Sacred Journey. I am so excited and honored to be coming to you now every Friday. Once COVID-19, we're done with this, we will go back to every other week or every once a month format. But good morning, Barbara. We are actually now coming to you every single week because there's just so much going on, and we felt that this would be a great opportunity for Life is a Sacred Journey to connect with our audience, as well as to get, to introduce ourselves to new folks. So I want to get started today because last week it was my mistake that Deborah Savoie was not able to join us. I gave her the wrong call-in number. So she is definitely with us today. She's in the virtual green room, and she will be joining us later. And we'll be having a discussion about senior living facilities. And I asked Deborah to come on because I felt that, yes, we know that some of the assisted living facilities are having difficulty as far as COVID-19. People are getting sick, staff are getting sick, people who are in the facilities are getting sick, but we want to lift up not just the doom and gloom stories. We want to lift up those those places where people are actually thriving during COVID-19. And the point at Rockridge in Oakland, California is one of those places. And so I'm just very excited to have Deborah with us here this morning, Deborah Savoie, who is the executive director. I will introduce her in a few minutes. But we started a couple of weeks ago searching the community of the human globe, looking for acts of kindness. And we talked about folks that had been helping individuals with their rent and all of those kinds of things. And we found some other today that I just think this is wonderful. So there's a Brooklyn landlord who just canceled rent for hundreds of his tenants. Matthew Haig, or Hogg, wrote about him in the New York Times, and Mario Celerino is an owner of an 18-apartment building who said he did not want renters to stress about their payments during the coronavirus pandemic. So we send out our Thanksgiving and just thank this wonderful man, Mr. Mario Celerino, or Celerino. Wait a minute, Michelle, you're from back there. Mario Celerino from New York, who owns buildings in Brooklyn, and he has said to his tenants, don't worry during this pandemic. So that's our act of kindness today, and we're very thankful to all of you who are I know out there doing your acts of kindness every single day. I see Teresa there. Good morning, Teresa. It's good to see you, and congratulations is in order. I know we have a new person coming into our lives through Teresa's family, so that's always a good thing. So you can see, even through COVID-19 and even through a pandemic, people, we're still creating life. Life is still happening. So I wanted to also say to our caregivers. So a couple of our caregivers here at Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay have said to me, where are the resources? How can I figure out what's going on? And Alameda County, you can call 211. 211, simple. We used to have 411. We have 911 for an emergency. Now you have 211. And that is a resource line that you can call and get information about food, get information about housing, get information about a variety of things. If you are a caregiver, senior, or any other individual living in Alameda County. Almost every single county they will have information about, and so feel free. But please be kind. Because when I called them the other day, they had a queue, a major queue that I was in, and I was thinking when the person got on the phone, they're doing this all day, and they are volunteers. They need more volunteers to help them, but be kind. You're going to be in a queue for a minute. Do something else. Put your phone on speakerphone if you can, or turn it up really loud. Go do something else. Don't burn the food in the pot like I did yesterday, but go do something else so you won't be so angry. Keep it in earshot when the person gets on the line, and then thank them for the work that they're doing, and then ask your question. Kindness is the only thing that's going to get us through all of this, not being impatient and angry with each other and judgmental. Everybody really is doing their best. I want to say good morning to Carrie Kennedy, who was our occupational therapist here at Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay, and for many, many, many years, actually about over 20 years, I have known her and loved her and her dogs that come to ASAB and have come to ASAB. Vida, of course, was my favorite. Vida has since passed away, but I know Vida is dancing in doggy heaven and loving the seniors up there as she did here. So thank you, Carrie, for tuning in. Please share this link and share our podcast with people that you know. Good morning, Susie. And we're here every Friday at 8 o'clock. So let's get the listenership up for the podcast. We also have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, Life is a Sacred Journey, and you can look us up on Facebook. So please get us connected with other people. We think our message is good. If you think our message is good, please pass it on. So again, I told you on the onset of our show that Deborah Savoie, who is the executive director of The Point at the Point at Rockridge in Oakland, California, is going to be joining us. I'm going to bring her mic live here in a few minutes, and she and I are going to engage in sort of like a conversation about The Point at Rockridge in Oakland. So let's bring Deborah on. Good morning, Deborah. How are you?
Good morning, Michelle. I'm doing well, and thank you for having me.
Well, I'm just honored to have you here today to share with me, as well as to share with the folks that are on Facebook Live, as well as YouTube, as well as our podcast, Life is a Sacred Journey, to really lift up the good work that you and your colleagues are doing at the Point at Rockridge here in Oakland, California, to really lift up the first-class assisted living community that you and your colleagues have partnered together to create for our seniors and loved ones that are living there. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to share what are some of the things that you are doing to make that so.
So we are a senior community where we love our seniors. We find where you'll find an engaging community full of friendly people. It's a place where everybody feels immediately at home, and where comfort and care go hand in hand. And the way we do it here at The Point is through love. We do it through love. Since this whole COVID thing, we've continued to provide that care and love to our residents. Things have changed the way we do it. We no longer have our engaging and our dining room where folks can come in and family members come in, and it's a bustling place. So the dining room is closed, but we're still providing our excellent Elevate meal program to our residents in their rooms. Just looks a little different. Instead of it being on nice plates and beautiful different kind of dishes, of course it's in to-go boxes and packages.
Okay.
3 meals a day. Our dining room staff are working hard to get those meals up. Not only are they doing the 3 meals a day with 2 choices, they're providing snacks 3 times a day. After breakfast, after lunch, and after dinner, there's 3 meals a day.
Wow.
The activity program, you know, it looks totally different. We don't have our vendors coming in with music, you know, blaring down the halls and people breaking out in dance. It's happening in the hallways. So the residents step out of their doors and we provide the activities that way.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We are bringing carts with art projects, trivia projects to our residents' rooms. We are doing FaceTime, Zoom with family members, and we are so fortunate here that we have a beautiful indoor-outdoor patio.
Oh, nice.
So our residents can still go out to get air, and take. We do have allow pets in our community, so folks can still get out with their pets. So that's a real plus for us here, because we do not want them going out walking in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We are definitely shut in.
Yeah.
So we have happy hour every day where we're actually take drinks, which we always had our happy hour on our 6th floor in our what we call our sky room.
Okay.
A beautiful room where you can see all the bridges, but now it's on a cart, all 6 floors. Sometimes we start on the 1st floor and work our way up, and sometimes we start on the 6th floor and work our way down. So housekeeping, I mean, now we've always done a great job with housekeeping, but now with COVID, I mean, it's clean.
I know.
And so just going back to the beginning when this all first started, me as the leader, I'm sure I was driving everyone crazy. Because I felt that it was, you know, it's my job to make sure that the cleaning is beefed up. We have signage that everyone sees that we're coming in, because in the beginning, you know, we did let family members in.
Yeah.
Just took temperatures, and then, you know, it was some really quick changes with the state being involved, the governor, what the president was saying. So I was running around here trying to keep up with all the changes, which was crazy, but you know, we did it, and eventually we stopped everyone from coming in.
Oh, okay.
The residents stopped going out. We only allow medically necessary folks into the community.
Yeah.
If your loved one is on hospice, then we do allow you to come in and see your loved one if they are.
Oh, okay. So this is a little different than some facilities that I know of. So at the point at Rockridge, what they're doing is if their family member there is on hospice, the one family member, Deborah, I mean, you are still maintaining crowd control and all of that, but the family is allowed to come in to visit their family member who is in hospice. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, not only that they're in hospice, but they're in their really last days.
Okay.
They're really, because everyone that's on hospice is not, in their last days. But,
right.
I just feel it's appropriate to do that. I don't let them get on the elevator. They do have to take the stairs. So they're not around our population.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Good morning, Sandy.
They have to take the stairs to see their loved one. And so those are the things we're doing here at the point. We just no vendors are coming in. So when someone does move in or out, their furniture is brought down to our garage, and our maintenance people are doing that. If someone are allowing people to move in, the loved one will bring the furniture to the garage, and we take it up.
Okay.
Yes, we don't even allow those family members in.
Yeah.
We
That's right.
and they have to stay in their room. They have to be quarantined for 14 days.
Yeah. And I think that's so important to tell people because, Alzheimer's Services of the East Bay is an essential service. And so I am here every single day. Some days longer than others. Most of the time I try to get out of here I'm trying to limit so I can also get enough rest, and take care of myself so my immune system does not get diminished so that, I'm at risk anyway, but I don't want to, heighten my risk or increase my risk. So, Deborah, what are you doing there with your staff? Are you rotating them in and out? Are they being tested? How are you helping your staff to remain healthy as well?
So, the first thing that we do with our staff when they come in is we take their temperature. There's a questionnaire that is completed, asking them health questions. We meet at least once a month to just try to energize them. We keep health snacks in the break room for them. We always have feed them at least one meal a day. We just try to keep their spirits up. We are not short-staffed, so we're doing well there. We are not overworking our staff. Thank God we don't have any cases of COVID. So, we're not having that stress of wearing all that necessary PPE, which can be very stressful.
Yep.
But we're just trying to take care of them. We do lots of, right now we're playing Wheel of Fortune. So, the app is to spin the wheel. We put the names in a box and draw names. They spin the wheel, and there's several prizes. Homemade mask, plenty of gift cards, 30-second dance. They have to break out in a 30-second dance. Just trying to have some fun.
Yes.
Matter of fact, today is Hawaiian Day, so we asked the staff to, dress in some bright colors, and we have leis for them. So we're trying to keep it light and try to have some fun. One of the point at Rockridge is managed by a company called Intercal Senior Living, ISL, and one of their cultures is to not to take yourself so seriously.
Oh my
Have
gosh.
fun at work.
Yes.
So we do every month choose a culture keeper. There's 12 of them.
Oh wow.
Intimate that culture. We feel that culture is real important. We not only, have it on a card, but we live our culture here at the Point at Rockridge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. Culture keeper. You guys out there, it's so funny because I was talking with some colleagues the other day, and we were talking about cultural competency, cultural humility, and all of these things. And I'm always the person that wants to talk about cultural humility. But I always think if we just treated each other as human beings, we wouldn't have to have all these criteria of how to do it, right? If we just honored each other's culture, honored each other for who we are, and not judge everybody and try to make everybody fit into whatever we think is the dominant culture or the more powerful culture or gender or whatever, we would be able to really live out we're all in this together. I think that we're very good at cliche language where we say things, we're all in this together, and then really we're not all in this together. So, we need to really think about that. I think during COVID-19, we have an opportunity to really be together. I love the things that Deborah, you're doing, playing games with your staff, not having this hierarchy of power where people cannot be themselves within a construct where they're caring for other human beings. And so together means acceptance. together means acknowledging that that person may not be handling COVID-19 the way that you are, and lightening it up, because we know that laughter, music, playing games, because when you play games, you have to laugh, because somebody always messes up the rules of the game. I love playing games because I love pointing out to people, that's not the rule, and we laugh, and you lighten up things that possibly could be very heavy for people. So I think that's a great culture to have. And maybe we, in many of our facilities, even here at ASEB, we could do a better job. I think we laugh a lot here, but I need to make sure we laugh more, right? I think laughter is the key to just making our hearts feel good. Yeah. How are you taking care of yourself, though, Deborah, as a leader? I know as a leader myself, I forget sometimes. My sister this morning, good morning, Tony, she's watching from France, told me this morning, are you taking care of yourself? You're always out there doing something for someone else. What about you? So I'm going to ask you what my sister asked me this morning. How are you taking care of yourself?
So I heard you mention that about yourself. So in the beginning, I was run down.
Yeah.
Just tired because I was, working, 9, 10 hours, 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep everything, straight and make sure that people were doing what they were supposed to do. And then in the second month, towards the second month, I stopped, and with encouragement from my husband to take care of myself. So because I meditate, and when I'm working like that, and there's something going on, like COVID was going on, I kind of put that on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
So I started meditating again, and getting up from my desk and going home, leaving the building at a reasonable time, knowing that my staff, because I've always felt like I could go home and lay my head down, and my staff are going to do the best job that they could.
Yes.
But with this big change,
yeah.
In the beginning, I just had to make sure. But I am taking care of myself. I'm eating well, probably too much because my husband's home. He's cooking all the time. But I'm resting. I'm sleeping well at night.
Good.
But it was tough in the beginning. Very tough in the beginning. One thing I haven't talked about really are the residents.
Yes.
And how this stay at home has really what it is isolation. How this isolation has affected some of the residents. So our community is 6 floors. Our second floor is our memory care unit. So we've treated that second floor as its own unit. So nothing's really changed there. It's probably like ASAP. It's just carrying on. We don't exchange staff there, so they have their own core staff.
Oh, cool.
But the rest of the floors, the residents that were really social, that enjoyed going to the dining room, we've seen some cognitive change there. And yeah, just, where just some cognitive change. And some of the dementia, folks that had mild cognitive impairment, it's increasing a little.
Yeah.
And any psychosis are changing the residents. Their psychosis are changing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just really paying attention to that and giving them more love and attention, getting them out on the patio for some sun, because I just believe, sun is good for the soul.
It sure is.
And just really paying attention to those residents, because they are isolated. One thing that we are doing, other than the video chats with family members, we are fortunate again to the way the building's made. We have a little patio that's off the dining room. So our residents can go out there, the family members stand on the walkway, and they visit.
Nice.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
We had a lady turn 88 the other together last week, and from the front door we had a birthday party.
Nice.
So we're just trying to really pay attention to the residents that are experiencing being shut in.
Yes. Well, our time is almost up, Deborah, and I want to just ask, would it be okay for our listeners and folks that are watching on Facebook Live to just send cards to the point at Rockridge in Oakland to your residents just to say, we're thinking of you, hello, and is that something that you would be amenable to?
Absolutely. We have school children doing that.
Okay.
The more the better.
Okay, so all of my church friends and all of my friends that are watching on Facebook Live who will see this on YouTube later on, who are, however you do this, let's flood the point at Rockridge in Oakland. How many residents do you have, Deborah?
I have 113 residents in my assisted living and 27 in my memory care unit.
Okay, so 27 in the memory care and 100 and say it again?
13.
And 113 in the other. So that's a little bit of writing we have to do, but we can do this. So the point at Rockridge in Oakland, you can find them online for their address, and let's make cards or whatever we can do to cheer up those folks, because isolation, we all know how we're suffering in shelter in place for those moments of grief, sadness, and separation from those that we love. But Deborah Savoie has really reminded us, and this has happened here at ASAB, we have lost a few of our participants as they have sheltered in place. And it's not that we're the end all and catch all to life, but when you cannot socialize, when you cannot be in the world and have a routine that helps you to feel engaged and involved in the world, it is life threatening to not just your body, but to your soul. And so I want to thank Deborah Savoie from the Point at Rockridge in Oakland for joining us here this morning at Life is a Sacred Journey. Please subscribe and share through your Facebook channels and any other ways that you social media. We think we're doing a good thing here, and we want to share it with everybody. And Deborah Savoie at the Point at Rockridge, thank you so much for everything that you're doing there to keep your staff safe, for the residents that you're serving there. Their families must be very happy that they have a leader like you who understands the need to care for people, mind, body, and spirit. So I'm hoping that you will begin to get a flood of cards for your residents. Just make them out to dear resident of the Point at Rockridge, and Miss Deborah Savoie will make sure they get to her residents in a timely manner so that they can know that they are being thought about. So our time is up here at Life is a Sacred Journey. 30 minutes doesn't seem like enough. It's probably too much for some of you. Too much Micheal Pope for 30 minutes. But I want to thank you all for joining and watching. Kelly, Sandy, Susie, Nancy, my sister Tony, all my family and friends that are making Life is a Sacred Journey something that is incredibly it's my act of kindness to the world. And so I wore my t-shirt today. It says all in, meaning we're all in this together. And I don't mean it from a cliche point. I mean it from my heart. Like Deborah Savoie, I meditate, I pray, and that's what I'm doing right now. I believe faith, hope, and love will get us through this. But the most important, as I was reminded by my good friend Deborah last week, is love. And that's what Deborah Savoie said that is happening at the Point at Rockridge in Oakland, California. If you are looking for a place for your loved one, please check out the Point at Rockridge in Oakland, California, whether it's now during COVID-19 or later on down the road. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Look in the mirror, give yourself a hug, give yourself a kiss. And this is Micheal Pope, and we are Life is a Sacred Journey, and we thank you for your time. We thank you for your prayers, and pass it on. Pass us on. Take care and have a magnificent day.